Welcome back to the video blog. Adam Daniel Mezei is my name, from a chilly Toronto. Thanks again for watching. AdamDanielMezei.com is my website, and of course, I am your PMD, producer of marketing and distribution. Anyway, so I had a little bit of thinking today, and I was actually talking about this last night with somebody that I had gone to a play with, and it had dawned upon me as I was watching Donna Vivino, who plays Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. As I was watching her on stage going through her routines as the Wicked Witch, I was thinking to myself, you know, which parents actually see this particular talent in their children early on, whether they have stage presence, whether they could be possibly great musicians, whether they could be great at sports, whether they could be great horse riders, things of that nature. How many parents actually identify these things, see these things early on, and make active efforts to cultivate these particular talents within their children? How much are they willing to sacrifice to make sure that these things emerge? For example, let's say Wayne Gretzky's father, that saw that Wayne Gretzky had an aptitude for hockey as a young man, so the father would make a point of waking up early and taking Gretzky to his games and cultivating his talent and practicing and basically getting that famous Malcolm Gladwellian 10,000 hours worth of practice, so that by the time he was in his teens, he was already well practiced and well within a position to get a slot on a minor league club. How many parents actually realize that certain children have musical inclinations, that they can play the piano or the violin or the drums or the guitar at an early age and do everything within their power, which includes, of course, sending them for lessons, making sure they practice, make sure that they sacrifice things with their day-to-day so that they can get more practice on, buy them the equipment, make sure that they do it every day, non-stop and not relenting. How many parents realize that, or see a certain kind of an outgoing nature, a gregariousness, a chattiness, a fearlessness within their child that make sure they get up on stage and want them to practice to be, for example, an actor, and see that they have no qualms and no shyness or no hesitations about singing out loud or getting up in front of a crowd and basically hamming it up and being a character? How many parents actually realize that, and what are they doing to cultivate those talents? Now, I know you're going to come to me right now and you're going to throw me the old shibboleth, which is, well, some parents just don't have the money to be able to afford it, and they can't send their children to do all these various wonderful, fantastic things. Now, that's an argument for sure, but then that wouldn't be much of a sacrifice, would it? Now, of course, we're not talking about parents who are borderline poverty cases, but naturally there are options for families like that as well. There are grants, endowments, there are mentors, there are influencers, positive persuaders who can put children in a certain position to give them all of those things that they need to do. This conversation came out last night after I'd seen Donna Vivino on stage as Elphaba, and Chandra Lee Schwartz, naturally, who played Glinda. I mean, it just dawned on me. I said, you know, goodness, I hope I have the foresight when it comes time to be able to make that decision. I hope I have the foresight to be able to place the child in a position so that they can do the things that they need to do. Am I saying that I didn't have those opportunities? Am I saying that that wasn't something that happened to me? I don't know. There were things that I wanted to do that I thought I could have been really good at. For example, I was really good with horses. I was really good at riding them, jumping them, and doing things like that, and I would have been a really great horseman, I think, at a certain point in my life, and I just didn't follow up on it. I mean, I was also a great athlete. That's not to say that I'm not a great athlete anymore, but as a competitive athlete, had I pushed on those fronts, I was a great ball player. I could have been a really good ball player. I could have done a lot of things with that, just didn't see it that way. I mean, I was pretty good at a lot of interesting things that didn't go in certain directions. The one thing that stuck with me throughout has been my writing, and that's something that I've been doing for years, and that's something, I guess, that I probably should have started early on. Is it the child's decision to focus in on these things? Is it the parent's decision? I don't know. I just hope, as I say, that I have the presence of mind and the foresight to be able to really find that seam, to be able to really have the vision for the child, and to let them just roll at that, to let them have a clear runway to take off when the time comes for them to do that. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. If you have children, do you do the same thing? Did you have the foresight or the vision? And what did you sacrifice? And what were you willing to do to make sure that your child became that paragon that we know today, that are blossoming into the next Carlos Santana's, the next Angelina Jolie's, you know, the next Kirby Puckett's, you know, why did I say that name? The next Bo Jackson's, you know, things like that. Are you that particular parent? So there you have it. That's the audio diary? It's the video blog. Yeah, that's right. I also do an audio diary, but that's another story for you. And wishing you the very best of things from a not yet cold enough Toronto. I need it to be colder, and I will come out here in t-shirts and shorts, and I will dance for you right over here. Watch, I'm going to have somebody manning the cameras pretty soon. It's a promise, solemn promise to you. Wishing you, of course, what would a video blog day be without a little sip of the coffee? The very best of things.